Well, if you're a writer, there's only one thing. You have a certain itch, and you can only scratch it with a pen. So I kept scratching now for nearly 50 years. Oh, no, not at all. Life is a big adventure for me, and the stories I write are also adventures, which I take part in. You know, I'm always the hero of my stories in my mind, and I always fall in love with the heroine of the story, and my wife doesn't mind too much. She lets me do it for that period of time when I'm working on the book. You know, Anne, I always have the feeling that I don't choose. The characters choose me, and they come to me and they virtually demand my attention. So I don't know which book I'm going to write next, whether it will be set in ancient Egypt or in recent Africa. And so it's one of the reasons why it's always fresh for me, always exciting for me when the ideas start to come. My wife, for instance, likes the Taita novels, the ancient ones, because Taita, the main character, is immortal. And she says, I don't want to see you go away ever. I want you to be there with me. So she likes that mysticism and the appeal of ancient Egypt for most people, including myself. The reason I actually wrote the first of those books was because of my interest in that period of time in Egypt, which was my mother was very, very keen on the ancient Egypt because of at that stage, just a few years before my birth, they discovered the tomb of Tutankhamun, Howard Carter. So it was a very big, huge, spectacular interest around the world. And she caught the fever, and she gave it to me when I was still a little one. And so when the time came that I could travel, one of my first stops off was in Egypt. And I went there dozens of times before I got around to writing the book. And when it comes to the Courtney saga, the first book I wrote, When the Lion Feeds, was about myself, because I grew up on a cattle ranch in Africa. My character's growing up on a cattle ranch in Africa. And so I just wrote what I knew about. And there I discovered the secret of writing convincing stories. Only write about the things you know well.